She used the sentence, "She never said no to what we chose to do together."
Hold on. Set off my fucking radar. Wait.
She used the sentence, She never
said no to what we chose to do together. What the fuck? Yeah, nope. Yeah, nah, this is that. Well, I mean, she didn't say no, though. But did she expressly give you consent, though? Because as far as I'm concerned, because this is a whole nother thing too, where heads will be like, oh my god, or whatever, bro, heads are fucking boring, or you're a PC, or you a bitch, or whatever, like, heads will make the first move, yada yada. Nah, I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Let's really talk about it on an optical level. Like, you should probably definitely know that the person that you're gonna get a little frisky with most definitely is giving their consent within these times, you know what I'm saying? We can't use the bullshit, she never said no to what we chose to do together. What the fuck do you mean she's never said no? Did she ever say yes? This shit is crazy, but alright. We'll hold that. We need to see more. You already know. Back once more for the babes. Of course, you already know what it is. Y'all seen title thumbnail. Apparently, we're talking about the influencer girly pop, Melanie Martinez. Apparently, she's an artist girly pop, but I ain't gonna lie, the stigma already looking ain't too good. You already know the last time I checked out an influencer girly pop who made music or was an artist, it was Lala Sadi. So, ain't looking too hot. But yeah, apparently a whole situation has been going on with this girly pop here. So of course we gotta sit here and check it out. And you already know, Trill talks everything. Trill yaps everything every time. Definitely gonna be a yap sesh. So let's get right into it. You already know. Shout out to Love of Babes. Miss Coco's crazy. We got the disgusting new Melanie Martinez situation. If you guys want to watch the OG vid, down in the description, first link. Sure to love with Coco's crazy. Killing the game out here. I ain't gonna lie. The views are stacking on this boy. But yo, we better get right into it. Let's do it.
Who comes to mind when someone says a popular artist on TikTok? Well, a lot of people think of Melanie Martinez. A few years ago, I couldn't escape her on my For You page. There were a million trends going on following her music or using her music. There were tons of edits of her, and overall, she was blowing up, but now all I see are hate videos, or videos coming straight at her with new accusations after accusation. It is the only thing I see about Melanie on TikTok anymore. So what exactly has Melanie done in the past year?
So this is a dress that she wore for her
Martinez knew she was doing. Wait, what? Hold on. Are we not grammaring? Or Trilly just did Trilly just a dumbass. Melanie Martinez knew. We're just not grammaring. Okay, Melanie Martinez knew what she was doing with her subject/child themes more than I wanted to think. The dress from her Pacify MV.
Pacify her music video.
This is not an issue of media literacy.
There are a lot of accusations going around. I'm going to remain as unbiased as possible in this video and just really go over the different things being said and kind of see what could be true or not. I am not a Melanie Martinez fan. I don't really like her music personally. Yes, I've listened to all 3 of her albums and I just don't like them personally. They're not my thing. But if they're yours, that's your thing. I don't really care. With that, let's get into the different accusations.
You gotta separate the art from the artist. Say this y'all all the time. Like, yo, especially example Kanye. You already know, obviously all the stuff that Kanye been doing, terrible works, very terrible optics. But yeah, obviously in the past he's made excellent music. He did make Graduation can't save him, but we will still listen.
And most are about Melanie personally, but some are about her fan base being very, very toxic. Please don't make that true in my comments. Be respectful and polite no matter what argument you're making. Do not say anything awful to someone. Please remain respectful, and with that, let's get into it. But first, I have a quick announcement before we get into the video. Mustafa, the injured Palestinian I've been helping, his percentage is rising and you can be part of the group that helps get his daughter's food. And if you haven't donated yet or you can't donate, remember that you can simply spread it to friends or family. It's that simple, or post it on some social media platform. That's all it takes to spread the message. If you even consider donating a even tiny percentage, thank you so much, because that will make a huge difference in his daughter's lives. With that, let's continue with the video. So it all mainly began a few years ago when Timothy came out with a statement saying that Melanie SA'd her. She was basically
Starting off hefty, huh?
basically run off the internet by Melanie's fan base, and she recently made a reappearance and published a video discussing her experience with Melanie's fan base and what really happened to her after she came out with this statement.
Speaking out against my ruined my life, and I'd like to talk to you about it.
And
oh, this shit have 400,000 likes. Uh-oh.
I'm just gonna quickly give a background to like the 2% watching that don't know who Melanie is. I know
That would be me.
most of you do, but I just want to be nice to those who don't, so please just be patient. It'll take like 20 seconds. Melanie's basically a pop artist. She's been very, very popular. Her main hits, like her top hits, are Dollhouse, Pacify Her. You've probably heard a few of her songs before on the radio or something. Like, she has had some very big hits in the past.
Melanie has disrespected Indigenous culture.
But right now, I literally cannot get away from videos saying she did this, saying she did that, saying she did this. It's all over the place.
The allegations, the year of the allegations coming back, I thought we left it in 2024.
It's no longer simply just Timothy. It is so many other things. So I felt like I needed to make a video breaking it down because I'm not the only one who has this on my For You page. A lot of other
Nah, what is on my screen though?
other people are probably wondering what's going on. And I mean, I feel like one video kind of discussing it all could help a lot of people understand the situation and if they want to support Melanie or not.
Unfortunately, this was enough for 99% of her fans to take what she said as truth and deem me a liar.
Before either side gathers their pitchforks and comes for me for the 15th time, I'm simply going over the accusations made because there are a ton of them, and I feel like there needs to be one video just going over them. So it all started a while ago when Timothy made an accusation about Melanie, saying she had SA'd her when they had met up one time. And this sparked a lot of controversy, and a lot of people turned
As I'm sure it would. Pretty hefty allegations there.
against Timothy. Timothy herself has claimed multiple times that right now, today, is the most support she's ever gotten. In the past, she got rarely any support, and her life was basically destroyed because of this accusation she made towards Melanie. She would come on to TikTok and make a video discussing what had happened to her after that accusation, and now she posts regularly, but turns off the comments due to the fan base
I
constantly.
was about to say, yeah, Hez might come, actually, she turned the comments fully off, so she was already getting brigaded by, like, you know what I'm saying, Melanie's fans and all that type of shit, which obviously on the audience factor, you should not want to cultivate this type of audience on Melanie's part, because if your audience is toxic and or harassing other people, yeah, that gives a good stigma on you. Well, no, not a good. That gives a bad stigma on you, and obviously that would affect your optics, and then you wouldn't look too good as an artist.
Spamming the comments.
Whether you know who I am or not, I ask you to please listen to my story.
I'm listening.
If you
Hey, we listening on.
do recognize me, then you haven't heard from me in a couple of years. And that's because I was effectively run off the internet. You also may have heard that I admitted to lying or that it was proven that I lied. Neither are true. After my initial statement describing in detail what happened, my mother issued a statement in response. She used the sentence, "She never said no to what we chose to do together."
Hold on. Set off my fucking radar. Wait.
She used the sentence, She never
said no to what we chose to do together. What the fuck? Yeah, nope. Yeah, nah, this is that. Well, I mean, she didn't say no, though. But did she expressly give you consent, though? Because as far as I'm concerned, because this is a whole nother thing too, where heads will be like, oh my god, or whatever, bro, heads are fucking boring, or you're a PC, or you a bitch, or whatever, like, heads will make the first move, yada yada. Nah, I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Let's really talk about it on an optical level. Like, you should probably definitely know that the person that you're gonna get a little frisky with most definitely is giving their consent within these times, you know what I'm saying? We can't use the bullshit, she never said no to what we chose to do together. What the fuck do you mean she's never said no? Did she ever say yes? This shit is crazy, but alright. We'll hold that. We need to see more.
said no to what we chose to do together.
She then goes on to discuss how everything of hers was leaked, her address. She was D to the deed in every single way. Her family phone number, her phone number, all of this very, very private information was leaked. And this would spark more of a discussion on TikTok once again after all those years of her being off the internet.
Anything I attempted to do was infected with this story. Googling me results in many first page results calling me a liar. The people who hated me took it upon themselves to ruin every opportunity for me. Partnerships with brands, modeling opportunities, they were all flooded with comments saying I lied about SA. In addition to this, my home address, phone number, and family's phone numbers were all leaked.
And I'm not gonna lie, I believe everything that she's saying in this segment. Even though this all happened back in 2017, I was about 15 at the time, and I remember the toxicity of the fandom.
And you're probably thinking, Coco, this is old news. Why are you bringing this up? Like, this kind of went down a few months ago. Why are we still discussing this? And I know I'm going to get those
Oh, no. It can be discussed, hun. I'm here to listen.
comments. Well, it sparked more of a discussion about Melanie Martinez's fandom, toxicity in general, and people started making videos about it, and then they started talking about other things. They started saying she was a bad singer in the first place. In fact, I found a TikTok that was just recommended to me about how bad Melanie's singing is, showing her on stage singing with like...
Yeah, that's just subjective again. Like, yo, that's just based on the person's personal opinions and all that. If you think she's a good artist, grand. If you think she's a terrible artist, don't waste your time and listen. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes.
300,000 likes. I could not imagine that having 300,000 likes a few years ago. It just seemed like everyone supported Melanie. Even, like, it's just times have changed a bit on TikTok.
Melanie has disrespected Indigenous culture.
And all of a sudden, I'm getting recommended all these videos, and then there's this one saying she disrespected Indigenous culture, and it shows her messing around and dancing with an Indigenous object, and then later goes on to explain that that's, like, sacred, it's very rare, and it's getting harder and harder to get. I believe that there's copyrighted music in the background of like the discussion, so I can't really show too much of it, but I think you kind of get the idea. The video shows it. So that's another accusation that has recently been made, and it
if that can be confirmed, then yeah, obviously on Melanie's part, that's bad. It probably would not be good to, you know what I'm saying, basically not disregarding, but what's the name, discrediting by doing like obviously these actions on this like sacred item. So very clarified. We got one up on the chopping board, or actually better yet two, if what the other girl was saying is substantiated or proven to be true.
It has a decent amount of likes, and all the comments are supporting the person in the video. Well, I'm sure not all, but all the top ones are.
Melanie deliberately knew what she was doing in regards to her themes surrounding her child character and her this character multiple times.
Seriously, Melanie may be one of the most controversial artists of all time.
She pulling a Umichi? Interesting.
Because this is all I see on my For You page right now. Like, literally comment if I'm the only one, if this is just me, but like, she's all I see right now. And here's another thing people are saying right now about her, is that she is, you know what, children, and that's kind of like her theme, or that's been her theme in the past, and that just simply isn't appropriate. And if true, obviously it isn't.
I was about to say, you know what I'm saying, if proven to be true and substantiated, yeah, we gonna move this up on the list, but this would be 3. This would definitely be like a top 2 though.
This is a dress that she wore for her Pacify Her music video. If you saw one of my last TikToks, I did speak about that music video. Here is another shot of the dress. So I was able to find information on this dress from the Crybaby Amino. This was posted back in 2017. There's multiple pictures of it, and it describes where she got it from. Oh, she got this dress from this Etsy right here. Do you notice something?
Sissy, what the fuck is this? My binkies and bows. Now it's when everyone is welcome at my binkies and bows. Your adult baby sissy. Hey, what the fuck is... Bro, what the fuck is this? Adult baby sissy? Get this shit off my goddamn screen. And what does it say? Sorry, I keep saying ABDL stands for adult baby sissy little. ABDL stands for adult baby and diaper lover? We got another fucking Nova is online, or Nova online? What? Oh, god damn it. What the fuck is going on? Okay. Hold on, we gotta lock in.
ABDL clothes. Adult Baby Sissy Little is what ABDL stands for.
And another video was made recently, this one, which got a very decent amount of attention, 44,000 likes, so it was a decently popular video. And they kind of proved that Melanie knew what she was doing when she bought the baby outfit, or because the website she bought it from was directly called...
Yeah, like that little Etsy like store. Yeah. First of all, how the fuck does Etsy still have that store up? That needs to be handled. Yeah, that shit gotta get taken down. Fuck do you mean adult baby fucking diaper lover? Again, the last time I heard shit like that was Nova's Online, and I know for sure that motherfucker needs to be exiled. We will be getting you off the fucking platforms. And yo, Hess was just dropping another video about Nova's Online. Apparently fucking back doing bullshittery. But yeah, nah, like if she's blatantly copying like Fitz and Joan off of this John, that's a no-go.
You know what? I feel like I can't go too in depth because YouTube keeps on demonetizing all the videos where I like even come close to saying certain words. But I think you know what I mean because I just showed you the video. But it wasn't all hate. There were still a lot of loyal supporters that kept on posting videos saying that they are continue to support Melanie.
Listen to my Lana Del Rey, because I hope y'all know Lana Del Rey is not canceled in this household.
But a lot of loyal fans would recently leave.
See, because this is where you have to make that distinction. Like, are you supporting Goddamn. Okay, this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. Are you like with the separate the art from the artist? Are you supporting her as a person, or are you supporting her music? Because there's a difference on that. If you're if you want to overall, if you want to listen to her music, that's a totally separate thing. Again, like I said, separate the art from the artist. The music is an art form. Whatever the person behind it, obviously, you know what I'm saying, could have some pretty bad Jones, but the music itself, like no one can demonize you for listening to music unless it's like that fucking new Kanye song, that Hell. The Painter song, yeah, that's some fucking bullshit. But with her, John, yeah, if you want to support her music, that's fine. Like, it's just music. The question is, are you supporting her as a person with some of these actions she's doing? Because if so, then that's when I gotta side-eye you a little bit. It's like, yo, what's going on with the adult baby diaper shit? Like, are we gonna explain that, or are we substantiating that? You cool with that shit? The questions.
Due to cheating accusations. I know, it just keeps going and going and going. And I know I'm gonna get some comments saying, oh, yeah, one person left. No, people were legitimately burning the merch and they were throwing it in the trash and filming it. It was like a serious situation on TikTok for a while. If you didn't have it, you probably didn't know. I don't know how it was on YouTube Shorts, but on TikTok, it was a whole thing.
Meanwhile, everyone immediately believed Verde based on a vague Instagram story with no proof.
So, I don't know why, but as this guy kind of said, when Timothy first came out with her statement years ago, no one believed her. She was run off the internet. All this horrible stuff happened to her. But recently, a boyfriend came out with this...
My question would be like, and again, like, I gotta pull the fucking Hassan. Flicks or it didn't happen? Forensics or it didn't happen? Had us. But like the question is like, did back then did she like post any like maybe like text messages or anything to kind of like substantiate this? Because then that's the factor. Not obviously that no one should take her serious, but then it's like on the level of like the level of seriousness you're gonna take it. Because obviously there's one thing of making claims that this happened, and obviously if you're making false claims, that's bad, and there should be repercussions for that. But that's a whole different discussion in itself. Like during that time, if she was showing evidence in Jones that this happened and people were just generally disregarding her, then that's a bad factor, especially again if we knowing that she got brigaded by Melanie's audience. Would not be too good. Would not look too good on your optics, Melanie. It's not looking that good, hun.
Statement. Okay, that's an exaggeration. He just said something on his Instagram story and everyone ran with the idea that Melanie had cheated on him.
It's a stark double standard. Timothy, a woman who tried to tell her...
And there is no wishing well... Wait, let me see. I don't know who this is. We broken up. I don't want to make it a big deal of it. I'd appreciate if you guys could just move on. We wish each other well, and there is no wishing well from her part. From her management reached out to me to say I can't sell my books, to her not allowing me to see my dogs. Yeah, that's fucking weird. Love her always though, and I get it. Do whatever you need to get over it. We are just humans. Never cheating on her either.
Story was immediately dismissed, ignored, bullied, and doxed just for speaking up. Yet when Verde made his claim, people immediately ran with it and decided Melanie was a cheater, even though Verde never actually said that. He simply stated that she moved on quickly and that he never cheated on her, which some fans interpreted as implying that she had cheated on him.
Credit goes to Rob Media for the short clip. Basically,
Rob's Media. Shout out Rob's Media.
He says perfectly, it was all based off of an Instagram story, so very, very brief, and I could see you interpreting never cheated on her either as like, hey, she cheated on me, but like that could mean a lot of things too. That could mean I treated her really well, and she thought I cheated, like it could mean a million things. So jumping to the conclusion that Melanie definitely cheated on him and running with that and burning merch.
That's what I'm saying, like the one single Instagram story alone like really wouldn't be enough, especially on a factor to substantiate that you just most definitely cheated or that this situation was definitely happened. But obviously we're calling it into question.
Seems very, very dumb. It's like, that's of all the reasons, that's the reason you're going with, that's what you're mad about. A very, very like vague statement.
Instead of arguing on social media and posting those Instagram stories, Melanie and Verde should just talk to each other. But oh my god, Melanie Martinez fans went crazy over this. So let me explain. Those fans did not give a f that Melanie Martinez has SA allegations. Multiple SA allegations.
That video credit goes to Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. So basically, I can't really like summarize it anymore for you. There are lots of videos on it. Lisa has a 50-minute long video on the entire situation, but I'll just summarize it. It was a screenshot of a story that started this drama. Very, very vague. So we don't actually know if he cheated, if there's cheating involved or not. Hot take incoming. I think that her fans should be concerned about other controversies instead of a cheating one that's...
That's yeah, that's like what I'm formulating calculating in my head right now. I'm like, I'm not gonna hold you. Out of all these different Johns, we should most definitely be calling into question the SA allegations and that ADL, not ADL, goddamn fucking ADL. Fuck, this is not some Hassan shit. Anyway, the fucking adult baby diaper shit where she got the dress off of that Etsy shit. Like, we need to be asking questions specifically about those. Not really stamped. Like, we worried about the cheating, John. Now, obviously, if it's substantiated more that she obviously cheated or something like that, that's something she needs to be criticized for, or can be, because again, people have their different opinions, bro. Some, and I don't know fucking how, some has just don't give a fuck about cheating. But obviously, on that factor, no parasocial shit. If she fucking cheated, that bad on her part. But do I give a fuck? Hell no. It's not my life. But anyway, on that, yeah, like there is way more other shit that, like, I would say her fans would need to be worrying about if we're taking on that, separate the art from the artist. Because it's like, yeah, you're gonna support her, but some of that stuff ain't looking too good. Are you sure you support her, or do you just like the music?
Again, very vague, and there's really not any evidence at all, or really any actual statement. It's just a vague story that sounds kind of sarcastic. So that's that drama. There you go. Thanks. I saved you like an hour of researching. With that, let's move on to the next accusation I've discovered through TikTok.
Aside from the disgusting allegations, these prices are criminal all by themselves.
I'm sure a lot of you already know about this. She's been selling NFTs lately, and in the past she's
Yeah, if you're still buying NFTs, you're a lost cause. That's it.
sold candles, and that sparked a lot of controversy. She has been known to have a lot of controversy surrounding her merch and her ticket sales because her stuff is very, very high priced. In fact, even on her official TikTok,
yeah, it's like with the influencer merch, obviously to like make good profit margins, you're gonna price your John exclusively high because, oh my god, like this what's the word we use? This famous influencer, I guess. Fucking hate the word fame. But like this famous influencer, whatever, like selling a product and only certain heads can get it. So obviously that gives them regard to jack up the price. Tough. But at the end of the day, it's still the person's choice, or like, you know what I'm saying, the supporter or fan's choice to buy that John or not. And if they do, and if they happy with it, hey, they spent their money on what they wanted.
she gets a lot of views and a lot of likes, but under the one where she's talking about like the release of her candles a while ago, all of the comments, well, not all, but a lot of them were complaining about the prices. Even her own fans were very, very annoyed.
Just got home from the Melanie Martinez portals and kind of upset about how the VIP meet and greet was AI generated. Also, I didn't even get my VIP merch.
Huh? How the VIP meet and greet was AI Yo, this shit can't be real. How the VIP meet and greet was AI generated. How the fuck do you AI generate a meet and greet? Who the fuck walked up? Goddamn ChatGPT robot? They done got one of them new Tesla robots to show up. What the fuck? How is that even possible? Like,
so to be fair, at the end of the day, she said she had a good time at the concert.
This video was made by Haley, and I saw it.
Yo, I am completely baffled. It was an AI meet and greet, and she didn't get the merch that she paid for. This, I don't know. I don't know if I would be too satisfied.
About a year ago. It's kind of an old video, and I remember at the time, all the comments were against Haley. They were all defending Melanie, but the comments have switched since then. Now they are all, like, siding with Haley. So that's just something I noticed, which is kind of strange. They weren't all, like, hating on her, but they were kind of defending Melanie before, and now they're, like, more with her. So it shows that tides are slowly changing with Melanie, and I mean, that's not, like, me saying, oh, I hate Melanie, yes. What I'm saying is, like, that's not a, like, opinion. That's a fact. Like, more and more people are turning against her as more.
Yeah, it's like, this is, I say this all the time, too. It's with the quote, you either, like, die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. This was the same shit that was happening to Kai Cenat, but now obviously Kai Cenat don't got some of these fucking allegations that Miss Melanie Hun that you have here. Again, not good. But like, yeah, this was literally just happened like last week, bro, where like Kai was getting a bunch of hate and heads were ragging on him, and like heads will be like heads will start what's the word called, like, I guess FOMOing it. Like, yeah, I guess you could say FOMOing it. And like, or better yet, kind of dick eating the shit or whatever. Where, like, people will start more and more hating, like, oh my god, it's time for the Kai Cenat hate, or finally heads are getting to the Kai Cenat hate. Like, that same shit, I guess you could say the tide's turning is happening to Melanie. But I feel like with her allegations, it could be semi-justified, depending on, again, how true these shits are, because if they are true, what the fuck is going on here?
More and more controversies unfold. Melanie's meet and greet and her concerts were criticized for being too short, which a lot of people said that was because she has to wear that suit, and that is very, very hot. And her meet and greet, because it was AI generated, which I can agree that that is kind of annoying. Like, meeting an AI generated Melanie isn't really the same as meeting the real Melanie.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that shit's not a meet and greet. If you're meeting a fucking, like, AI generated image, a goddamn ChatGPT large language model, you're not meeting Melanie Martinez. This shit's not a meet and greet. The fuck are we paying for?
But again, you can watch Haley's video. She really goes over that.
So there were so many people, but like when she started to perform, everybody was just screaming and screaming. Nobody was singing. And I was just like, you know.
And another video that I've seen through Haley, and I've seen on TikTok as well, but I just used Haley's because it was just easier to access because I couldn't find the other one, is the accusation that she kind of just gives up on her audience and she just like stops caring and just gives up mid-performance. And here's someone who said that, but they kind of blame the audience for it because Melanie was getting frustrated in multiple performances and she kind of would give up midway through. So a lot of people were saying she didn't care about her audience, but this guy kind of seemed to defend her. He was kind of saying that it was the audience's fault because they were kind of having a lack of energy. And obviously, this isn't really the biggest controversy. It's not that big of a deal, but
yeah, it's just like,
just brought it up because, I mean, why not? It's another one to add to the list, I guess.
Before I move on, though, I want to read this comment I read about Melanie's AI-generated meet and greet. Oh my god! I thought the AI picture was free! I went to a BTS concert back then and theirs was free. That is insane. Yeah, it's a photo booth kind of thing and you can choose your member and it prints out and everything outside the venue. You don't even need a ticket.
Wait, what the fuck? So this was like a photo booth? Bro, again, like, I could, obviously, when you see, like, a normal photo booth out in the wilds or whatever, like, you know, when you go to your local mall, like, you know, a fucking carnival or some bullshit or whatever, like, yeah, you gotta put money in and, like, put money in the machine to obviously get a picture, but I don't understand, like, why was this a VIP thing if it's, like, a picture booth? Like, why would you even make motherfuckers choose this shit? Or better yet, pay for this shit? Why don't you just have this shown outside or whatever, make multiple of these and just have this as a thing to make, like, extra money, just some auxiliary money on the side. This is just like whatever.
And when I first saw this comment, I was like, no way, that's real.
So kind of off of what I said before, the whole AI generated photo thing was a huge deal because it was supposed to be this whole meet and greet. You meet Melanie, but instead you got to write a note to her and you got to take a photo with an AI character.
Yeah, it's like lame as fuck. Again, I'm not paying for that, but I guess if people were satisfied with that, yo, money, but I wouldn't be.
And a lot of people, once again, in Haley's comment section were kind of disagreeing with her. They were saying, hey, I met Melanie and stuff like that. So I don't really know because it's just hard to know exactly.
Well, but the question would be, well, from me then would be like, did you meet Melanie Martinez herself, the person, the artist, the girly pop, or did you meet this fucking AI photo? Like, that's the question. Because, and then again to that, within that, y'all paid for the membership. I'm assuming these people who did, like, why did some people meet her, the person, and why did others not? Is there like a higher tier? See, that's where the questions come out as. Because if some heads, if you have the same base tier VIP thing and some heads met her, the person, and some heads fucking took this AI photo, it's obviously unfair. Like, heads didn't get the same like value, I guess, out of what they paid for.
Exactly what the truth is. But if this is true that they met up with, like, all they got was an AI figure to talk to and take photos with, and then they got to write on a note to Melanie, that is kind of sad and depressing. But yeah, once again, I feel like I just don't know because I wasn't there.
Yeah, me either. But from, like, again, when I'm gathering and formulating from this information, it's like, yeah, it just sounds like some shit I wouldn't have paid for.
You know, and multiple people are saying different things. Some are saying it was a wonderful experience. Others are saying I was ripped off. So at the end of the day, I don't think we know enough about this one. Sorry.
All this information has been available for the past 7 years since the start of it, and we've been basically spoon-feeding it to you. I have 2 videos on it with hundreds of thousands of views, and in those comments there are hundreds of Melanie Martinez fans saying, no, this didn't happen. I remember in 2017, right after Timothy issued her statement, the way she was attacked, harassed.
As more and more accusations come up against Melanie, more and more people have issued statements about how toxic her fan base truly is. And I do agree that sometimes they are very, very toxic. I'm not saying every Melanie fan ever is the worst person on earth, but some of them are very, very bad. I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. And this is what I always say, like, as the content creator, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, you're trying to grow your platform and build your audience. The audience you cultivate really matters. Like, the thing, like, again, this goes back to the Luddy argument I always bring up, and like I had seen this argument. I talk about it all the time. Never gave backstory to that. Yeah, the Luddy argument was from a video I had seen him way back. This was like way before I was even posting videos on the tube. But he was basically saying like how you're responsible for your audience, which like all of your audience, which is obviously like a dumb claim, because yo, Adam, if say you got 100,000 people, right, you got 100,000 subscribers, or heads maybe in a live or some shit. Yo, if you tell heads, don't do this bad thing, and heads, and there's one heads or a couple heads that still do it, are you responsible for those niggas? No, you told your audience not to do this shit on the overall. And these niggas still fans of you, just doing dumb shit. That's what it is, obviously. But within her, John, it doesn't look like she's going about any actions to stop people from brigading or harassing people within, obviously, other people's audiences and other people making criticisms of her and all that type of shit, which is she's not cultivating something good, as we discussed. Bad optics, hon. Not looking too hot.
How much you hate someone or how much you love an artist or stan someone, you cannot give away personal information about someone accusing something about someone you like. That is never okay. It is never okay to send them these threats. It is never okay to leak their private information.
I remember the way people ignored the other person who said that Melanie did something similar to her. I remember the fake screenshots coming out in real time.
Okay, I don't even look for Melanie Martinez on TikTok or follow any of her fans, but I have seen videos with a lot of likes praising these fake screenshots that are so obviously fake. Like I saw one by Timothy on Twitter saying, "I lied about everything. I'm a big liar." And it was like, "We won the war." And it had a lot of
Motherfuckers think I was born yesterday.
once again, and the comments were buying it. So it's like you're gonna buy an obviously fake
Nah, see, that's the thing though. Like some heads, see, this is also another thing that I would go ahead and propagate. You can't fucking argue with somebody that can't admit to being wrong. That's a whole nother thing too. Like some heads, no matter what the fuck is dropped about Melanie, they'll still always be like super mega fans, glazers, as we call them over here, the G boys, yeah, of her. So like some heads, regardless of what comes out, are still gonna be like on her side or like backing her 100%, and that's some shit that you can't do. But the main thing I always talk about, laws to D equation, it mainly matters about the bleed. Like, yo, as long as more people can open up and see like, yo, this person can be criticized for certain actions. Now again, with her having allegations, we'd want to have it more substantiated within that. But obviously, again, in the scenario that these things are true, yeah, she gonna need some criticisms, man. I ain't gonna hold you, bruv. Like, especially, again, if her audience is brigading niggas. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Screenshot, but you're not going to listen to the multiple victims. Like, it's just like, there's so much bias going on. That's something that annoys me. I always want to look at the facts and I want to look at the evidence, but I don't like bias, which is like very obvious in this fandom at times. I feel like that isn't a crime to say that there is some bias going on.
And that's the thing I talk about too, and I was just talking about this, John, in one of the other vids. But like, yo, obviously in situations again too where you're looking at things like this, like allegations, you want to be objective and like get the Johns. But I can understand if heads have a tiny bit of bias. We're all human. We all instinctively, emotionally react to things and such like that or whatever. But there's like unreasonable bias where you're looking at some shit and like, yo, it's very clear that this thing, at least in some regard, can be criticized. But you're sitting here looking just totally plausible deniability, fucking Denim's Hassan perfect, just clearly choosing to ignore that shit, goalpost shifting, move on to something else. I'm like, now we know you're shilling in or de-writing or glazing. Like, what? Come on now.
Taking screenshots because you really like an artist, reminder that this artist doesn't know you exist. Your life could be over tomorrow and she wouldn't cry because she wouldn't know you exist, yet you are doing all this crazy stuff for her.
That's what I'm saying. You can't, like, and I stamp that in all the time, so I'll TLDW it, but you already know, I say it all the time. Any person you idolize, whether it be your favorite rapper, artist, singer, I don't know, YouTuber, whatever, content creator, influencer, it doesn't matter. Stop idolizing these niggas and like basically wanting to skinwalk doppelganger their ass. See the accolades and the successes that they got and take what you've seen from them, obviously, and add your own creativity and innovation to that shit. Stop doing this shit with these niggas. Like, you can, again, like and have a favorite content creator, but stop trying to be them. That shit, like, come on.
Girl, she doesn't know you exist. You're giving away private information about somebody because you stan her so much. Yes. Once again, she doesn't know you exist.
And that is when you know you are well past the point of terminally online, because what the fuck are you doing?
It's just such a weird parasocial relationship. Like, you gotta admit that some of these fans are very, very toxic. I'm not coming for every single person that enjoys her music. I'm just saying the ones that are giving away private information and faking screenshots, like, that is so weird. And like, just go outside and touch some grass, please.
I won't be doing that, but I would definitely recommend that those heads do that
instead of harassing people. There's just so much bias going on, and I get it. There's someone you really, really look up to. You had an account, you bought merch, you went to her concert. You don't want it to all go away because of this one person making this accusation. Well, two now, but these two people, you don't want it to ruin everything for you. You love this woman. You want to defend her with your life. But at the end of the day, you need to remember that you need to listen to both sides, and you just can't let your...
Exactly, you know what I'm saying? Again, like I said earlier, if you have a little bit of bias, it's fine. We're fucking human, flawed creatures. Duh. But in the Johns, you need to try your hardest to be objective, look at both sides, obviously take what you can for both sides to be able to come to a bridge on what's obviously reasonable in this situation. Yeah.
Your bias get ahead of you, because we have to respect everyone in this situation. We can't just like let the person we like better have all the space and the spotlight and and be biased for them. In a lot of these type of cases, there isn't actual evidence. It's hard to get evidence in these situations. So at the end of the day, the audiences that are watching, or the people that watch this go on, are either going to believe the victim, trust what the victim has to say, or they're going to like follow who they like better. And I get it. It's annoying. You really, really like this person, and now someone comes out and there's no evidence, they're making a statement, except...
That's what I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, it should always be stamped in innocent until proven guilty. That's why, again, 2024, the year of allegations, until some shit is really stamped in. Obviously, like, yo, you can't be calling people all this crazy shit and all this junk. But, yo, clearly to that degree, like we're saying, if people are coming out and saying that you did some Johns, you know what I'm saying? And especially on multiple factors, we might need to look into a little bit. You might need to face a little bit of criticism. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, don't be like the Orbiter Squad, fucking just straight up defaming, slandering niggas on some crazy shit. Not substantiated. Like, fuck.
That Melanie admits they met up, and Melanie says she didn't say no to the things we agreed to do. And it's just, at the end of the day, you believe someone or you don't. That's just what it comes down to. Once again, I understand the fans' frustration. They are mad. They don't want this one person to absolutely destroy their favorite person's reputation. That simply does not give you an excuse to give away her personal information and bully her off the...
Yeah, like, just because, again, you don't want Melanie's career to be ruined, you can't just dox the girly pop. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, and again, even to that factor, the fact that you are so parasocially attached and love this creator, someone that Coco's Crazy, shout out to girly pop, was just saying that does not fucking know you, little bro. Just because you fuck with them that much, does not mean you about to go out and dox people, harass them, go brigade their audience, and go brigade their like comment section and shit. Like, we gotta tap in. Shit behind the screen. This shit is going on in real life, but most of us are behind a fucking screen. We gotta wake up to that. We have to, because some of these heads are not woke to that.
The internet. We must respect everyone in the situation. That just should not be this insane take that should get me under fire. Like, I feel like that should not be an insane take, that we should just respect everyone and listen to what everyone has to say.
I remember people using her neurodivergencies against her. I remember people creating fake accounts. I remember when she eventually drove off the internet, so she only had one private account. People finding it and then jumping in to harass her on there. I remember the way none of y'all gave this woman peace because you like Melanie Martinez.
And at the end of the day, these are the same people that are going to go home and they're going to say, believe the victim, and they're going to be all for this, all for feminism, all for the Me Too movement, until it's their favorite artist. And there just is a bias here. Like, I'm sorry, but there's a bias for the fandom. There's a bias. There's always a bias in humans. But
literally, that's what I was saying earlier, and Coco's Crazy just stamped that anymore. Like, obviously, everyone to a degree is going to have a little bias, but if your bias is going totally far in a factor where you're just ignoring some shit, like, that's very clear and bad. Like,
there's just such a strong bias here. And just the harassment just is so disgusting in every single way. Whether you believe Timothy or not, the harassment is completely unacceptable. The things they did to her are completely unacceptable. So I went on a little ramble there, but back onto the topic, you can see that more and more people have been coming out with videos defending Timothy. And as Timothy said in her own words, for the first time, which I'll show you that clip in a minute, for the first time, she's actually being defended. And people are saying that she's still obsessed and stuff, and she also replied to that, but she is simply saying that she's glad that she's finally getting support after 8 long years of everyone turning on her, everyone hating on her, everyone, she says, harassing her. But if you thought the controversy and the criticism towards Melanie ends there, you'd be wrong. It just keeps going and going, and we're gonna
the snowball effect. It just keeps getting worse.
Get into the rest of it soon. And if you're appreciating the video so far, please leave a like. For some reason, my likes have been really low. My views have been decent, but my likes, not so much. So I don't know if you guys just aren't liking the videos or something, but please leave a like.
They not showing enough engagement.
With that, let's continue. A lot of fans have criticized Timothy for not going to the police and instead posting on social media. I haven't found a statement Timothy has made on specifically that. If you do, please send it to me, or I don't know how you would send it to me. Please mention it in the comments if she said something. I feel like she's probably said something about that, but that is a criticism I've heard a lot. And I simply don't know enough about SA cases to determine if that's like an actually good argument or if that's a really bad argument. So I would really like to hear guys' thoughts on that, because I simply, once again, don't know enough about SA when it comes to the court of law. And I don't know exactly how her fan base has become, like what they've become now, but I have seen a lot of them switch to other artists. Like they will transition their 1,000
Like, yeah, hold on. I think on the low we might be seeing Melanie girly pop. It's getting a little, might be time to go listen to someone else. Now, obviously, with that being said, yeah, you're not trying to deplatform ahead or whatever, especially just off of allegations. But, obviously, within some people having controversy, some heads may, bleed a little bit, like we said earlier. Start listening to other artists. It may happen, but...
or 2,000, 10,000 follower account on TikTok to a different artist like Olivia Rodrigo. I've seen that happen, and I've also seen some of them still continue to support her art, but they say they don't like her as a person anymore. And a lot of them, they've become more scarce overall. Her fan base is slowly seeming to decrease because of all these controversies after controversies. She still does have a lot of people that support her, but it seems to be in decrease because I just see a lot of her fans coming out and saying, yeah, we don't support her anymore, sorry. And before her fans come for me, like I know they will in my comment sections, remember that these are her own fans saying this. Her own fans are the ones saying that her fan base is dying. Where do you think I'm getting this information? On TikTok. Her fans are posting videos saying
people are not supporting enough.
Saying her fan base is dying. I don't know what to do. People aren't showing up at her concerts, blah, 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 blah. Her fans are the
K through 12? Yeah, we gotta keep asking questions.
ones kind of panicking because they're saying her fan base is dying. So this is not coming from me saying, ha ha ha, Melanie, you're dying, your fan base is over. No, it's her own fans saying that the fan base is dying. Her fans are the ones burning the merch. Her fans are the ones switching the accounts. Once again, her fans are the ones...
they burning merch like how they was burning the LeBron jerseys when he went to the Heat, bro. That shit is crazy.
Saying her fan base is dying. So I'm just looking at everyone's perspective in this situation. I'm not just looking at the people defending Timothy. I'm looking at her own fans, and a lot of them are turning on her due to the different controversy she's been in. I just hope that more and more, if her fan base does continue to grow or continue to decrease or whatever happens to it, I just hope that it becomes less toxic. Because I remember when Brad tasted...
Again, but that's all dependent on how she cultivates her audience. If she doesn't put out positive vibes, good energies, and most of all, tell her audience to stop doxing people, then they're probably gonna continue to do so. That's the apparent point. And yeah, Melanie hun, I would suggest doing that pretty soon.
In music, I used to use this music app, and he was like the top user. He posted videos about her critiquing her music, and he got D threats for critiquing her music. And yes, he was a little rude about it. He used like mean words to describe her, but like seriously, dude, like sending D threats to him and his wife for this, like the fan base at this point, like a lot of them are toxic. A lot of the people in her fan base are very, very toxic.
And that's what I'm saying. It's unnecessary. Like again, if you really do feel like you know what I'm saying, I guess hate, I keep saying I guess, god damn it, truly can't formulate a thought, dumbass, fuck, I'm looking like Ian dumbass right now. Oh my god, we need Yoko to come give me a thought, stupid ass. But anyway, yeah, like, yo, I don't know to what degree people feel as though they need to do this. Like, again, if you dislike, like, the person, I guess your favorite artist or creator is going up against, like, you can feel that way, sure, but do you need to go out of your way to be going to leave these crazy ass hate comments, especially if they're not genuine criticism? No. It's like, what does that do? What is it gonna do?
It could be like 1 out of 1,000 that are extremely toxic, but that's all it takes for someone to get a D threat. It only takes one toxic person. So it may not be her entire fan base. It may only be a small portion, but they make
I would imagine, yeah, because obviously most heads aren't on this weird ass shit.
Loud minority. Like, they are loud and they are open about their support for her in a very, very intense way. So if you're part of her fan base and you like know how toxic they are, let me know in the comments so I can have a better idea. But all I know is they're infamous for sending death threats to anyone who criticizes Melanie. Because once again, it could literally be 1 out of 10,000 for all we know. But loud minorities are loud. Like, if there's someone that stands her and they want everyone to know, they will let everyone know. So maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe it's only a few that are extremely toxic, but I've just heard things, even from her own fan base, that people inside the fan base are not the
Evil Mickey, huh? Interesting.
nicest.
He said,
actual lives of survivors come second to your parasocial relationships with these celebrities. And if y'all want to actually support survivors, your parasocial relationships
are not the nicest.
The actual lives of survivors come second to your parasocial relationships with these celebrities.
In this case, that's like directly stand.
And if y'all want to actually support survivors, you should not require a survivor to come back on the internet.
Because yes, there isn't a million pieces of evidence that directly support Timothy, but there also isn't evidence that this didn't take place.
Exactly, and that's where I'm saying, like, obviously, we would want Timothy in this case to, I guess, substantiate it a little bit more. But again, like I said earlier, like, Flixer, it didn't happen, kind of fucked up. But obviously, we need more evidence to that. But again, like Coco's Crazy said, that does not obfuscate directly from Melanie Martinez. That doesn't mean, oh, hun, you just didn't do anything. No, especially with your track history from what we're seeing. We gotta question you again, at least a teensy bit. Like,
Melanie has admitted that they did do stuff together, but she said
directly from that statement, yo, she didn't say no to what we chose to do together. Again, excuse me?
that she consented, that Timothy consented. So overall, it's just an argument over words, and there just isn't enough
he said, she said, yep,
evidence to prove that Timothy is lying, but at the same time that she's telling the truth. So it really just depends on how much someone stands Melanie, or how much someone truly believes in the whole believe the victim movement.
No, there's no way she did that. Absolutely not. What do you mean, how do I know? The victim's a proven liar. Well, they mixed up their story one time, and then I just sort of ran with that. But it's the same. I'll let you know, I was questioning my moral high ground for a second, and then I listened to a manic middle schooler talk down to me like they had a medical degree for 4 hours, and I feel a lot better about it. Look, I'm not an idiot. She would never do
a manic middle schooler.
that, okay? She would never do that.
Another argument I have seen a lot by some Melanie fans is the she would never do that. She could never do something like that.
Yeah, bro, I swear to fucking God, bro. No one better ever hit a nigga with that in a real argument with, like, not to say, because obviously these could potentially be real allegations, and as we're seeing, but yeah, with some shit that's like you're fully guilty, you better never hit a nigga with that. But they would never do that shit. Well, I ain't gonna lie, they're in a situation in which they might have, and or like the one I'm talking about right now, they are cooked. They definitely did. That's tough. Now, obviously, again, like I said, with this, I'm gonna need to see it more substantiated. More will come out, obviously, within that. But yeah, you can't just use the argument, oh yeah, they would never do that, because how the fuck do you know that? Like, again, through the screens. Again, I totally understand if heads have a favorite creator, have a favorite artist, all that shit. They don't know you, little bro, and let's keep it a buck. You don't know them like that, especially not on a personal one-to-one, we had deep combos level. That shit is dead. So how the fuck do you know that they wouldn't do this shit? Not to say that, again, Melanie is 100% cooked. That statement, again, that little line that we just came off of is fucking crazy. But we, again, do not know 100%. But also to that factor, how do we know 100% that she didn't do this, John? You can't just obfuscate it. Tough.
That. And it's, again, the parasocial relationship that just is so wrong, because you don't know Melanie, you've never met her. Same as you don't know Timothy. Mm-hmm. It's just like a lot of people, fans and non-fans of Melanie, are just forming these parasocial relationships with these people that don't know they exist. I am not exaggerating. I've seen that.
That's why I'm telling y'all, never feed into that shit. Obviously, Trilly makes the slop, makes second monitor content where you could just sit and like have my dumb ass just playing with whatever slop drama's going around. Slippy! I ain't gonna cap, but like at the same time, like, yo, Hedge, I'll tell you straight up, Trilly's a fucking loser. You should never idolize my dumbass. Again, I'm in my mother's basement, broke as fuck, chopped this shit. Y'all already know how I get down. But like, yeah, you should never really feed into that parasociality, especially if you're gonna become a content creator, because yeah, that could end up with some pretty bad shits happening, or ended up with audiences that you cultivate and it's bad works. But obviously that's dependent on the person, which as we discussed. Melanie here is not snubbing her audience. But yeah, also, you seen with some of the streamer, especially streamer girly pops, you get stalkers and shit. Like, do not farm parasociality.
Comment so many different times and it's gotten a decent amount of likes. She would never do that. Melanie would never do that. Melanie couldn't do that. And it's just like, you don't know her. You just know her music. I get it. Some of her music, you like the messages, you like that stuff, but you still don't know her.
I was a small musician at the time, and after speaking out, gained tens of thousands of followers. While there were some supporters, the majority of the followers were people who actively hated me.
At the end of the day, it just really comes down to if you believe Timothy or if you believe Melanie. And that's that. I can't make you believe something, and I'm not going to give my personal opinion. All I'm saying is I completely condemn the doxing Timothy and all of her personal information and all of that. I condemn that. You should never do that to anyone who speaks out on any situation, no matter if you believe them or not. That's just not appropriate. If I were to say who I truly believe in this situation, I would have a bunch of comments defending themselves on their opinion and blah, 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 and I just feel like that's not worth it. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to change their mind on what I have to say. You have to form your own opinion. I've shown
Exactly.
you the different things that are claims made against Melanie, and at the end of this video, you have to make the decision. I can't make it for you. You decide. Is Melanie someone you want to support, or is she someone you don't want to support? That's...
From what I'm getting, and probably what I'll get to, my final opinions and conjecture, we get down. Yeah, it would be more or less like, again, there is stuff that that Melanie could obviously be criticized for, but then the more serious things, obviously we need to see it more substantiated. But again, to that factor, that doesn't mean they could be totally disregarded on her effort. Obviously, it would need to be more looked into.
Really something I can't control. That's what you will decide, and I just gotta let you do that. I can't hack your mind and make you agree with me. So there's no use in giving my actual opinion, because I just feel like I can give my opinion on things that everyone should agree on, like don't attack and harass, like doxing people that...
Yeah, like that's an obvious factor. Like when you talk about criticism, especially, again, for the girly pop, like her audience, if they're over here brigading niggas, harassing niggas, that's an easy sweep. Like, Miss Melanie, tell your audience not to do that. We were saying it. Like...
talk about this type of stuff and come out with this information, because you will scare, even if we were on the circumstance where we have irrefutable evidence that Timothy is lying, then we're still scaring victims in the future, if you get what I mean. They're going to be scared to talk about a celebrity that did something to them, because they're not going to want to have what happened to Timothy happen to them. So just remember that what you do today to a victim will affect victims in the future. Again, it's not automatically grab your pitchforks and run for that celebrity and just trust everything they say. No, you should, of course, examine what they say and check for evidence, check for something, check for as much evidence as you can find.
Obviously, you were taking as much information as you possibly could.
But what I'm saying is that we just have to be careful when someone speaks out, whether we think they're lying or not, because it likely will have a major effect on people that want to speak out in the future. It may make those people want to hide and not speak out, because what Timothy went through, no one should have to go through. That's just awful. And I mean, people are not going to want to speak out now.
And while I wish I was the type...
It would make them, like, obviously scared to do so, which then prevents them in the future from being able to furtherly speak out about situations and obviously get justice for the wrongdoings that may have potentially been done to them.
I have a person with the confidence to say the haters and stick it out. I'm just not. I'm sensitive and not self-confident and never have been. And this made it so much worse.
And it is sad that all the comments replying to this, you can see 60,000, not all, okay. I would say about half. Half of the comments are just saying streaming portals, streaming portals. And you can do with that knowledge what you want. So now let's
not looking that up.
Go back onto Melanie as a person overall. Other than the obvious reason of her songs being very catchy and her being like, her just standing out overall, I think that
she's a quirky girly pop.
There is a major reason why she's so popular and why she sparks so much controversy. She knows how to be creative. She knows how to be unique, to be outstanding. She's not ordinary at all when it comes to music. Her
I'm saying, you could definitely tell she's of the quirkier type, you know what I'm saying? Like Coco's Crazy was saying, she's unique in her creative efforts.
Songs, like, there's nothing like crazy, outstanding, brand new that she's coming with which of course isn't a bad thing. Like, most pop stars don't have like a brand new technique of music. That's very rare. But she always, like, does something unique in her video.
That's what I'm saying. Most things are, like, innovation. You're obviously going to build and create off of what you've already seen. Because, obviously, especially in this day and age when it comes to content and like, you know what I'm saying, music and things and such like that, where there's an abundance of people trying to make it in these lanes. Like, yeah, you're going to have to build off of something else. Coming up with a whole new original idea, pretty difficult. I'll tell you what. The saturation be hitting.
videos. She has a unique, crazy style. She does weird facial expressions, and that is very, very like smart. It's a smart way to gain a fan base. It's a smart way. So I will give her that. She is very, very, very intelligent when it comes to marketing her music.
Once she was just a shy teenager performing at a talent show called Voice to have a chance to become a famous musician. And now she's one of the most successful and famous artists in modern time. Her most recent album Portals came out in 2023 and is still popular to this day. This album was the first thing that she released after taking a 3-year long break.
And my opinion on her music obviously doesn't affect my opinion on the allegations and stuff. That's just separate because
separate art from the artist. Discuss that.
a lot of people separate that. I already said, but I don't really listen to her music. But I do know some people who do, and I don't hate them. I don't care. Like, you listen to your music, you do that.
Do you struggle with anxiety? I wouldn't say I do, but this definitely would give me a little.
Back onto the point I made earlier, I just felt like kind of moving away from the controversies and talking about Melanie as a character to kind of end the video hopefully on a less, heavy note, maybe.
Less negativity. No, I feel that.
I don't know. She does know what she's doing when she comes to marketing. I, once again, have to give her that. On the internet and in general, in most things, people don't realize that if you're creative and unique, it really, really helps. Sure, in some ways, you have to fit in. Like
I said earlier, it goes all the time. You see people with successes and they accomplish accolades, you should obviously want to build off of that and go off your own creative lane. Like, especially because it'll be more passionate and more fun for you that way. Obviously, you're doing things you enjoy, and your own creative vision is going to be the clear best vision for yourself. It's yours.
Her music style, it has to be like most pop music, but in other ways where she can be creative and it doesn't affect her negatively, really, other than getting some hate for the portals. She got a lot of hate for that. That was another controversy I was going to talk about, though I decided to just skip over that because it's not really a controversy. People were just saying she fell off after portals, but it's...
Oh, dang. Well, they say everybody falls off. I'm going to keep it a buck.
It's like, yeah, I'm sure most of you have seen that, and that's, once again, not really a controversy. But back onto my point, people don't realize that being creative in music and on the internet, while at the same time maintaining like a average, it doesn't really make sense. But maybe one day I'll be able to word things better. But you kind of get what I mean. In the right areas, you need to be average and you need to like meet those average standards and not stand out. But in areas where it won't affect you,
ain't nothing wrong with being normal. I always say that, John. Now, obviously, within that, you know what I'm saying? Because if your content is bland, boring, plain, or your music is bland, like bland and plain, and like it's the same generic genre that everyone's heard before, obviously there's no standing in that. Why would people want to sit there and give this attention when they've already heard this thousands, hundreds of times or whatever, right? So it's like, yeah, obviously you want to stand out at least a little bit.
You negatively, and it can,
but not too crazy to where loss of syndrome and your skinwalker and quite literally nothing comes out of your mouth is real.
Help you should be creative. And Melanie understands the balance. Like, she's just creative enough that it's not going to affect like her music standards, but at the same time she knows how to like reach her limits. So it is kind of cool to see someone expressing themselves like that. So that is something I'm going to end this video off on. So maybe some of us believe in separating the music from the artist. Maybe some of us...
Yeah, that's just personally my belief. Like, yeah, you got to be able to make that separation of art from the artist. Again, way earlier in the video, I used the example of Kanye, and he generally is my perfect example. I was saying this in one of the other vids. I was just listening to Heartbreak the other day, you know what I'm saying? Talking, knock it out, and they don't know what we've been through. They don't know about me and you. Like, yeah, I'm listening to that shit, but do I fucking think Kanye is a great, amazing person and such an upstanding guy? I'll be fucking damned. Yeah, no, Kanye isn't really that guy as of right now, and honestly, as of late for like the past like year. But I'll still listen to the old music, clearly. And then that's the same separation with Melanie. Obviously, we can sit here and say there is many things she could be criticized for. Again, more things that she, even worse for, could be criticized, depending on if they are, again, substantiated more and things and such like that. But at least on that base level, like, yeah, you need to be able to separate the art from the artist. If you want to listen to her music, cool. That's fine. If you want to support her as a person, now, I would suggest asking a couple of questions. But at the end of the day, everyone's free to do what they want. Your own opinions and conjecture. I ain't gonna lie. Some things be looking off, though.
just believe Melanie is innocent. I don't know. I honestly don't really care about our opinions at the end of the day because we're all just going to stick to ours anyway. I can't
Exactly.
convince you if I give you my true opinion on this
And that's what I'm saying. No one can force you to have an opinion unless, again, you're a glazer. Which then, like, yeah, you're going to be in the echo chamber and everyone's forced to have the same opinion. Because if not, you get exiled.
But what I can do is show you the different controversies and let you form your own opinion. Is Melanie innocent in all of these? Or is she guilty and you don't like her or won't support her? I have no control, and just giving my opinion and not showing much would kind of just be manipulating, I feel like. I don't know if I said the word right. Manipulating, something like that. I feel like that would just be wrong. So I felt like it'd be better this video just to show the different dramas coming up with Melanie, the different controversies and the different situations, and some way, way, way more serious than others, and just let you form your own opinion. And let me know in the comments. Please be respectful. It's not that hard. Just please, if you are part of Melanie's fandom, please prove the allegations wrong of the toxicity in the fandom. Please be respectful in the comments, be polite, and if you enjoyed the video, donate to the GoFundMe or spread it to friends and family. Thank you. If you made it this far, you are actually the best. See you in the next one. I better see you in the next one. I'm not joking.
Stamped
I'll see you in the
every
next
time,
one.
hon. Subscribe. We not grammaring. Nah, you already know though. Shout out to Love of Babes. Miss Coco's crazy. Every time. I'm telling you, she's killing it. The vids are excellent, lovely. We have the disgusting new Melanie Martinez situation. Of course, if you guys want to watch the OG vid, down in the description, first link, share love again, because I already know Trilly do be yapping, so just in case heads don't want to hear the Trilly yap on the back end. Fair. Like I said, Trilly yaps everything. But yo, final opinions and conjecture is more or less like we were just saying. Like, obviously, within that, you need to be able to separate the art from the artist. If you want to be able to listen, if you want to listen to Melanie's music because you think it's good, fine, fair. It's music at the end of the day. Enjoy what you want to enjoy. But again, if you want to support her as a person, I would say question some of the things that people have been doing. And again, with people you idolize and like content creators, rappers, yada yada, whoever, like, you need to be able to look at them. If you're going to be able to, like, if you want to support them as a person, look at them and see like the things, because if you're not being objective on what's going on, then you're just a glazer. Like, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, within having like a favorite creator or someone you look up to, you need to be able to see and point out their flaws, because within that as well, you would have to point out your own flaws, because obviously everyone has them, but you would want to mitigate them as much as possible, right? So obviously peeping game on those things will help you in lesson making them yourself, right? Or better yet, like having them. But obviously, like I said, we all got them Jones. Trilly apps everything, so you know what it is. But yeah, obviously I feel like within this, there are some things that Melanie can be criticized for. Other things, we need some more substantiation. But at the end of the day, it's all your opinion, baby. If you want to support her, that's you. If you do not want to, that's you as well. But me personally, I'm gonna give my opinion. The revelation. Yeah, of course Melanie could be critiqued, but again, for some of the major stuff, we'll need to see a little bit more. Other than that though, again, I'll be catching y'all on the flip, baby. Peace.
Thank you.